Welcome. We finally get to start a brand new box today. So excited. I'm just on here getting hardware off, so waiting for the actual time. I'm way early. But I thought I'd come in and see if anybody jumps in and wants to visit for a second. Keep taking these screws out of this box. We get to start a brand new butterfly box today. I'm so excited about it. I usually do water and ocean and lighthouse, and this is just a little tip if you're getting into boxes and you have a lot of boxes around like I do. They open differently, they have different hinges, and so unless you're into drilling holes, which I am not, it's always a good thing to mark your little hardware to which box it goes. Just makes it easier. Welcome. Hey, yes, Shannon. Hi, honey. Butterfly for sure. Really struggled with it because I was like, a butterfly can go so wrong, and yet they're supposed to be so easy. And then of course I had to try and figure out which design I was going to go with. Is it going to be free-flowing and kind of fantasy-like, or do I want realistic, or what? Hey, Kentucky. Or some other user, not sure if that's Kentucky or not. I know I'm early, y'all. Just getting some hinges off. But I decided on this box because since I don't know where I'm going, my live just took off on me. Okay, so since I don't know where I'm going, welcome, boss lady. Hey, Michael. I decided to go with a box that actually stops when you open it. It doesn't go all the way back and lay down on the ground. So if I decide that I want to make my butterfly 3D, it won't hit when I open the box. That's the plan. Just in case I want to go 3D with epoxy sculpt or spackling or whatever we want to get into or don't know. It's just a brand new beginning. I love it. That's why I like doing the treasure boxes as well. It's because it's not like a huge, canvas where you're on it for weeks and weeks. Of course, some of the treasure boxes, most of them, we have been on for weeks and weeks. But it's been an enjoyable process. So, but they don't have to be. You can make them, easy, and you can make them as intricate as you want. Just depends on what you want to do and how it's turning out, really. That's me. Okay, got my little butterfly cup. Kentucky is present. Welcome. That's beautiful. So yeah, Sherry, I decided I would go ahead and use this box because it stops right there. So I can weight the bottom with resin if I have a heavy, sticky up butterfly on the top. So I had to, why does it says I keep getting banned. Am I being banned from my own live? Is someone being funny? Okay, this could be an interesting day. Anyway, so there's that. Don't ban me. Okay, so this box, let me get rid of this for a second. So this box is done. And that's the inside. I just put the liquid glass. Unbelievable. I banned again. So I just put the liquid glass. Okay, apparently I have been banned from my own live. So I can't see anything That is so weird. Anyway, so there is the inside lid, and there's the inside bottom. You're seeing me. Thank you. I appreciate that. It lets me in for a little while, and then it gives me a sign. Oh, you see and hear us. Us. I have become two people. All right, thanks guys. I appreciate you so much. All right, let me figure out where the top is. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. I'm going to go ahead and put the hinges on, at least in a section. So there's the box we've been working on. Sorry about all the glare. See, there it goes, banned from the room. Oh well, anyway. I'm just counting on Shannon and Kentucky, Sherry, user number, to answer questions today, if you don't mind. They are, if anyone's listening, they are my sister and my daughter. Yeah, it just won't let me. So weird. Anyway, okay, so let's not go ahead and put hinges on. Pretty much everybody knows how to put a hinge on, but what I like to do is take this sharp little not made for it and implement and just kind of poke in those holes that you see that you might have covered up with your liquid glass or your resin. And just give yourself a little start again, because it'll save a lot of frustration. Those little tiny screws that you have to put in, they're just a little bit frustrating. So I do that on the front, and I also do it on the back where the hinge holes are. And then when I get ready to put my hardware on, all I have to do is put the screw in there and do it. So. All right, so that was a tip, in case you didn't recognize it as one. All right, and this is the bottom of the box, the dolphin box for my granddaughter. She wanted the, well, I got resin on the bottom I gotta fix. So she wanted the winter, the dolphin, and this is still wet inside. It just lightly says, I love you winter on the inside, and it's going to have some more gold over it. But I'm going to flash this at you right fast because this is still pretty wet. So there's that. It turned out pretty cool. I'm very happy about that. Thank you. And this is a ring holder I had to make when I was doing my resin yesterday, so I have extra left over. I always pour it into a ring holder mold. So I just want to see what happened with it, and then we'll get started. I used that paste of pigment for the white, and it just gives such a different, I don't know, it's like softer resin when you put that white in there. It's very strange. Like, I can still bend this, whereas other whites don't do that. So it's interesting, but it'll, you know, stop bending. It eventually will set up. But that one turned out cool. I stuck that one. I could hear in my head my daughter going, stick it. I was just playing with resin by myself. But that was pretty cool. Thank you. Thanks, honey. All right, enough playing. Let's get painting. So a lot of times I hear things after the live is over. One of the things I heard was about a horizon line and not knowing what to do, how to get a horizon line in. So before I get started on this box, I'll just use this box, this lid, because I'm going to paint over it anyway, to kind of show you what I was talking about a little bit. Let's see, where am I? These are not cleaned, but palette knife is one excellent way to do that. And what I like to do, I'm just going to do it with a color you can see. So normally my horizon line, because it's usually on between ocean and sky, is usually white, depending on, you know, whatever color you're working with. But so what I like to do is get my white, which now it's gray, and just run the edge of my palette knife. It's very messy. Just run it right in there, and then you take your water and sky line wherever they meet, and you just put your palette knife down and go like that. That's it. That is your horizon line, and it's a great place to start. Another way to do it is by, if you don't have a palette knife or anything like that, you can take a string, which I don't have a string right here with me, but you can take a string and run it through your paint and then just go boom, like that. Like you're marking something with chalk, maybe, you know, like that. So there's different ways, and you can also take, like, if you have a fan brush, you can take just the edge, one of the edges of the fan brush, and I'll just make another horizon line, and then just run it across. There's just lots of ways to do it. So now I've got gray all over, which is fine. I like gray, so I'm going to put gray all over. What I'm going to do today is we're going to just play with color for a while on the top of our box. So get whatever colors you want out. This is going to be the background, okay? If you want a, you know, greenery background and all that, that's awesome. You can start with green, but it's better to start with darker colors in with your green, and so that when you start adding like white and stuff like that, the white will pull up those other colors, and it'll look much nicer and than just like straight green, you know what I'm saying? So since I've got my gray, I'm just putting little grays all over. I need to get my gloves on because I've got unicorn spit I'm working with. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm back in for a time. I might have just banned it myself off of my big iPad Pro there, I don't know. Anyway, so I want a lot of colors down, because then we're going to take a wet paper towel and just blot it and pull it right back up. This is going to get real messy real fast, all right? So just go ahead and put some colors. I am going to put some green in there, and I've got my gray. And I'm just putting, whoops, I haven't even opened it. You can put like dots down. You can put stripes down, and what you're doing right now is just playing. You're just playing in your paint, in your unicorn spit, whatever it is that you're working with today, and you're seeing how things move and how they are affected in different ways. And so I'll just put some green dots down. This is going to get super messy. I've said that once. I'm warning myself. And let's see, I want some black. I want lots of dark colors to start with, because I'm thinking you can always go lighter, you know, but oh, I guess you could always go darker as well. Just put them here and there. I'm using a mix of my unicorn spit, that's the regular gloss, and then my unicorn spit that is shimmer as well. I just want to see how this works. I do this with acrylics, and I get very interesting results. So it got me curious on the unicorn spit if I can use a wet paper towel with that, see what happens. It's just fun. I'll put some white on. Right in my black and green here and there. And I've got green in there, but I really like the yellow and green and purple combination. It sounds kind of gross, but what is the deal? Hey Randall, welcome. You must have been busy today. You've been off of TikTok. Well, let's do some bold yellow. This could be gross. It could end up to be a total disaster. But we will never know unless we try. All right, so I'm going to just take this humongous brush, dip it in a little bit of water, and just start pushing this stuff all over, just to kind of get an idea of what I'm gonna get. Oh, it's gross. It is gross. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go back and forth and see what happens. It's disgusting. But it's just the background. You never know. You never know. You can think it's gross, but it might turn out like, what the heck? So if you guys are doing this on your box, remember to make sure you're looking at the front of your box. Remember, you get your box turned the right way would be good. Okay, that was like too huge. So let me try the fan brush. All right. Ooh, that's cool. See, I was gonna do the wet paper towel, but now if this is going to work, I don't know if I want to. We'll have to see. Just blend it in. What the heck? All right, so this is what I was going to show you, just so in case you guys want to do this later. Just take a paper towel and get it wet, and I don't have my spray water bottle, so let me go get it wet and I'll be right back. Okay, now once it's wet, all you do is you lay it across your paint. Or unicorn spit, whatever you're working with. And you just pat it down. And we're just looking for lots of different background colors. And then once you have your different background colors, then you can go ahead once you've done your butterfly, or maybe before you do your butterfly, and start putting in like daisies or whatever flowers you want. And what's going to happen is that background is kind of getting pushed to the back whenever you put your daisy or flowers, whatever, and ferns. I don't know what you're painting. It's all going in my head. Anyway, so that gets pushed to the back, then you put your flowers on, and then when you put your butterfly on, all the flowers get pushed. So you get a lot more depth. So this doesn't really matter how it turns out on this first one. So you grab the 4 little corners and you begin to lift it up. You could do this with pouring mediums or anything. So it's hideous, as promised. But that's okay, because I saw you can do it again, add more colors and do it again, but I liked what I was seeing with this fan brush. So I want to go back to the fan brush. I would love to see pictures, you guys, of you doing it though. It's fun. I think part of the fun is that you don't know what it's going to be. I mean, you can't see it until you lift the napkin or whatever you're using up. I really like what I'm seeing now. And just a few brushes of the fan brush. And you know, since I don't really know what I'm doing yet, I don't know the butterfly in my head is not really real. But I really like this soft flowing look. And if you see a color you don't like or you want to add a different color, just throw it on there and get a wet fan brush and do it some more. All right, so this so far is what that looks like. I don't know. So I'm going to put some white back on it. Here and there. I do like all that mossy green for the butterfly thing. I kind of like that. And just a damp fan brush again, which is basically doing a background. You don't have to do a background. You could just do whatever you want. You can do a butterfly just right there. You can do a gazillion butterflies all flying off of the box in every direction. That would be kind of cool. Ooh, loving that white. I've got like this speeding butterfly because it looks like something's going really fast. I wish I could see y'all's. Oh, thank you, Randall. Thank you so much. I don't know what it was, but I saw you became my first top viewer. I appreciate it. And thanks for all the hearts, you guys. What a day already. So this is cool. I really do like that color. Now, here we go. We're going to be doing a box. So, you know, are we going to, look at that green. Wow. Are we going to go over the edge like this? Or just one color on the edge? I'm thinking one color on the edge since this is so multi. But again, it's likely to change. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over this with some more yellow, just because, here and there. Put some purples. I just don't want to rush this dragging this brush through it. It's just too fun. And this is, you know, this is the thing you're going to look at. This is the thing that's behind your butterfly. So you definitely want to spend a little time figuring out how it makes you feel when you look at your box right now. If you want to make it a little happier, a little more, well, like mine is like frog green right now, but that's all right. I may end up just doing mushrooms and a butterfly. Who knows? Just depends on what the box shows me. You know? You come down the sides with this pukey color for a second. I don't have any gesso on my box today because my gesso went onto the other box before I realized I might want to add a butterfly that sticks up. So this one has no gesso, but that's all right. Welcome everybody. I hope you brought your boxes to paint along. And if not, a canvas, and if not, then just hang out and visit. meet some art tribe. I'm just taking some of my fan brush, running it across the top, and then putting those same colors into the sides, just to get a flow over it, that's all. It'll all change a million times before it's done. I think I want some sky up in here, so So it doesn't necessarily have to be blue, it could be white, but I want it lighter. So I'm just gonna do something like that. And just start mushing those colors in, blending them up. And then I'm gonna take that same brush and go over the edge on the back. This is not like a how-to, this is just how I do it. You do it any way you want. I really like that. It's almost sagey mint. Is that a thing? Welcome. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks, Kentucky. Yeah, I'm gonna end up painting water again. I can see it. I can see it. I don't know. It could be a butterfly on water. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put some more dots down. White dots. In the sky as well. I don't know what I'm hoping to accomplish with that. I just thought it would be kind of neat to do. I'm going to add some blue right into some of my dots. Not all of them, just some. So I wrote to the Unicorn Spit Company begging for supplies. No. Not begging, but I did ask. I did ask if they did that, if they sponsored. And I also told them that on the last video I did, I had a poll and 100% of the people said no, they had never tried unicorn spit. So I thought they might be interested to hear that. And then I've been using my their unicorn spit here and there on my videos. Directed them to Cape Charles Art on YouTube. But hey, if I don't ask, I never know. They won't find a more faithful customer, I'll tell you that much. Okay, I softened it down to a color of green I can handle with that white and blue. How are you doing? Oh, Mama Dawn. I did not know that you wanted to learn how to resin. Yeah, I would have done it in front of you if I knew. But I will again, I promise you that. Did you buy any resin? You missed 3 ways she showed how to do horizon lines. Oh. Hey, Grat. Yeah, Grat, I did not tell them how much you liked their name. That's funny. I will do another horizon line just for Dawn. You betcha. Well, it's not kicking me off anymore, so that's nice. So this kind of made it interesting. This blue just automatically makes me think sky. But I'm beginning to see like this little river thing. And so I might end up going that direction and have flowers on the sides and then my butterfly somewhere around there. I don't know. This is the time you just start exploring. Keep moving colors. If you're looking at it and you still don't know, add some more colors. I'm just going to put this purple right on my fan brush. Dip my fan brush with a little moisture water. I want purple on this front of the box. I don't know why, I just want it. It's calling me. And without the gesso on it, that stain just really sinks in to this box, this wood, which is awesome. I did not sand my box before I started, and now I see I should have. You know, I kind of like the idea of doing like the front one color and the side the other. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It might be fun. Different. Okay, so take a brush. If you've got your background, I say it loosely, take your fan brush. See if you see anything. I'm going to go ahead and go with that river idea for a second, or water idea, just by putting some blue unicorn spit on my box and taking the edge. Oh, here, Dawn, are you still here? If you don't have a palette knife, you can use your fan brush, and if that was your sky and this was your water, you just take the fan brush tips and load up the paint just a little bit and then just go straight across like that, just nice and light. Whoops, sorry, I can't do it like this direction, but anyway, like that for your horizon line. And if you want, you can do the same thing with a palette knife. You just load your palette knife up and then set it down and just drag it across. That's all it is. And then the last is, if you have a string, you can run that string through whatever color your horizon line is going to be, whether it's white or whatever, and then just place it down and pick it up nice and tight. So those are the ways I know to do my horizon lines. Okay guys, I've got water and I really like it. Let me show you. I have a horizon, thanks Dawn. I have an ocean. It's all right. I don't have a total ocean, not yet. Give me a minute. I love that sky. I got a sky. I want more white in it. The water, if you're not used to your unicorn spits, the water really adds a lot to how it blends. So keep your brush kind of damp if you want it to blend. See how pretty that's becoming? It's just the unicorn spit and water. Thanks for all the likes, Kentucky. You were on your game, girl. I'll put purple down here at the bottom. Right. What the? Alright, hold on. Get rid of that purple. Oh, Shannon, if you're still here, Sherry had an awesome idea, because with Joe and his roses that he carves, she said if he used just the unicorn spit just at like the tips, of the flower and like the tip of the leaf or whatever. That would be so cool, like it's coming to life. I think it would be fabulous. Okay, so I put the purple in, and because there was green, it went kind of a brownish purple, which I kind of like, of course. I'm doing more. Just keeping with the same colors that are going across the front. Every time I go across the front, then I take those same colors and I come up the side and go back, so that you'll have something similar, at least on the top of the box. All right, let's see. I don't know how this unicorn spit's going to perform as far as painting a butterfly. Yes, that would be awesome. Yes. Took me a minute to figure out what I had just said. But yeah, I thought that would be so cool too. Oh, and he's got a, he called it a unicorn, but it's a seahorse cane, a walking stick cane that he's doing. Sorry guys, this is driving me crazy. Anyway, it's a seahorse, so he's going to take all the different colors, and he got the sparkle spit that we got, and do them up that cane, and I cannot wait to see that. I cannot. It's going to be gorgeous. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take black first, or maybe gray. Let me try some gray. And I'm going to put it on this fan brush just at the tips. I don't know if I want flowers coming up, or I don't know if I want to just draw a big butterfly. So since we're here, one of the easiest ways I know that, if you ever looked up drawing a butterfly, easy, they do it like they show you an 8 and then a 3 and a 3 backwards that you've put together. So the 8 is the body and the 3 are the wings. There's another way that is a Y, and actually that's a good way to do it. I'm just kind of do it at an angle though. So what it is you just take the end of your brush and you draw a line like it's a Y. This one's going to be coming off of my page, I think, because that Y is pretty big. Like that. All right? And then you just carry these up. This is going to be, I need a different brush for sure. That's going to be your wing. And it looks very cartoony right now, but it'll get better. Anyway, the Y comes up as far as you want it to. Those are your wings. And you can make them fiery, you can make them right, you can make them round, any way you want. And then just come around, and somewhere, or I'm going to end up with a dragonfly around the middle of the body. It just helps figure out where everything is going to be. You can mush your butterfly wings around like I'm doing right now. I'm not thrilled with it, obviously. But then you take from the bottom, these are your lower wings. just slightly under where that wing comes in, pretty much. So I gotta turn it around. I like the ones that have that long, or like this. It's like just not a real butterfly, but I like all the detail on it, and I want something kind of like that. But I'm not sure if I'm going to get it or not. So, and I really don't want a humongous butterfly smack dab in the middle of my box. So I'm going to take this back off. But that is the easiest way I know to do a butterfly, is the Y. Just start with a Y, and then the Y wings go from there. You got the upper wings, you got the lower, and you're good. So that's just the simple way. Oh, that looks great. Thanks. Okay, so if you don't like it, look what happens. You just go like that. It goes away. Perfect. All right. So I have water in my, I like water. So I have water on my butterfly box. And it sure looks like it wants to be an ocean. You know, if I was by myself, it'd be an ocean. It's okay, it's going to be a body of water. It doesn't have to be an ocean. I can still have my water. I'm just going to start putting some rocks with some gray here. You guys, I'm going to have a butterfly up in the sky like a seagull. Seriously. Yeah, goodbye butterflies, right. All right. Dip it in some green. Let me go back to some green color. Just never know. My box is just so dog ugly right now. Someone would love it. There is always someone out there that loves it. Thank God. You'd be surprised at the things that you think, oh my gosh, it's the same thing someone says, oh, I love that. It's true. Don't give up. So I'm going to go ahead and put some spackling on this. It did. It got wiped away, Grat. And I want to do an ocean here, and I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop some spackling all over my wet unicorn spit here. I'm getting rid of my ocean. I can always do another ocean. But I want texture. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I definitely want, if I'm going to do a butterfly, I want a little bit more floral in it, and I just kept going to water on these colors in this box, so this will stop me. For sure. And it'll give a neat texture to my little garden where the butterfly's gonna hang out. And I'll probably end up pushing this back down and have it not all textured, like have the sky not textured. But for right now, just patting along. I really like it. See, isn't that neat? You know, you kind of say goodbye to something like the ocean that you could see where it might be going, but then it's like, hello. Hello, texture. All right, change of gloves. Ugh. Round and round we go. Where we end, nobody knows. Thanks, Randall. It's true. But isn't that all part of it? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Welcome, Benita. All right, so here we are again. Back to the box. Let me show you up close what that actually looks like. I think I'll just start putting some bright colors in. Just give it the idea that there may be some flowers on this box somewhere. And since we've got spackling on, we can't take a brush and pull it without pulling the spackling. So it's all about just dabbing for right now. And then if you want to do some petals, you can just dab them up like that. Blending in to the yellow is fine, or any of the undercolors, that's cool too. It's going to be messy but cute. You can go back and fix them, add more detail. Or not. But I want to get some floral behind before I add a butterfly, because it's so hard trying to paint behind something. You can do it with masking fluid, but it's a pain. And with this texture, I don't think I can, so probably end up ripping that right off. Aw, thank you, Randall. Appreciate it. I hope so. You can see I'm not really taking a heck of a lot of time with these, but you'll get the idea when you look at it. Your brain will see it. I'm going back in, adding a little bit more of the yellow into the center.